Hi Scorpio, how's everybody doing? Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. For some of you, you may be receiving, I'm getting something about channeling immediately. You may be receiving messages before things are happening. And if you are tuning into it, you're going to be seeing that happening more often. But there may be certain synchronicities that you're seeing. It's like maybe you hear somebody in a conversation and a particular word stands out to you. Or you're watching TV and a certain commercial stands out to you, or like something pops up like an image or whatever. Keep track of these things because they're going to, I'm getting something about a ladder here. It may kind of like lead you down a road of like being prepared for something, or even seeing things before they're happening, like kind of getting these little insights as to like what is even about to occur. For some of you, you may even be getting something where it's like 3 days before certain things happen. You could be getting like particular downloads about what's taking place. This can be a little bit disruptive at times because sometimes it can throw us a bit off. Pluto energy is extremely strong. So when we have Pluto and it's ungrounded, it can be, it can feel very intense and even be a moment of like feeling like you're kind of going under because of it. So grounding is always going to be important with the Pluto energy when we tap into it. As I said before, it's extremely powerful, which means that it's also something that you want to have an anchor with to ground you so as not to be taken over by it. Because when it's ungrounded, it can feel, you can start feeling like paranoid or very suspicious or like hypervigilant and whatnot, which has kind of like been a theme within the Scorpio readings the last few times. But like all of us have shadow work to do, and all of us do have Pluto in our charts, so it's not just strictly for a sun sign Scorpio, it's for you wherever Pluto and Scorpio fall within your chart. All right, let's get into it, friends. For some of you, it did look like something surprising was happening within the pre-shuffle, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to harp on it until it comes back up again, if it comes back up again. Because it looked like maybe something difficult that you had been going through, but we're starting off with the sun now. Yeah, for some of you, this is the notion of like when you recognize, this feels like a very tapped in group that we're reading for right now. When you realize that you have certain abilities, they can be things that you begin to harness, and there's always a question of like whether or not you accept them or not. You don't have to accept a gift that you don't want to accept when it comes to abilities and whatnot. It is always going to be your choice as to whether or not you want to tap into certain things. So know that you always get to choose what happens with the energy. And if you don't want to access certain things that you have, you don't need to. Like there's no obligation to do that. It's just always if that's something that you want to do. And when we tap into our gifts, it takes practice and patience and time and understanding that you are the one that you are ultimately in control of the energy and where the energy goes and all of that, and what you are tapping into also. So know that too. But yeah, when Pluto energy is mastered, it can be like really psychologically undressing people, understanding the psyche space, definitely psychic abilities, stuff like that. Especially like in a psychological sense, for sure. I'm getting something too about channeling energy as well. So we're starting off with the sun, and The sun speaks about optimism, it speaks about creativity, and it looks like you could be getting help with a project. I'm also looking at Libra and the Four of Cups here, which I want to understand, because this feels... I'm getting like a little bit of a shift in the energy with these two. If there are things being offered to you that don't resonate with you and you don't feel like getting involved, don't shy away from advocating for yourself. It's all going to be a choice for you. Because there's a notion here of wanting to be objective when it comes to choices that you're making, which means balancing the head and the heart here when it comes to like what you're participating in, what you're getting involved in. For some of you, somebody may be coming through trying to message you or talk to you. I don't know if this is going to appeal to you, actually. I'm being guided to get back into this. Okay, so this reading may resonate for you wherever Scorpio falls in your chart, just like any other reading. So say Scorpio is your rising sign. You are going to see the messages within the tarot manifest in a physical way for you. Most likely either something you're going through or something that you're like watching or somebody that you're close with. That's how it manifests for your rising sign. If Scorpio is your moon, you may not literally in a physical way see the reading manifest. It may be what's going on in the like emotional realm for you with your astral body. So if we talk about like you may have a confrontation with someone, rather than it being like a fight that you get into, if Scorpio is your moon, it could be you experiencing internal conflict. So it's like the outside 3D manifestation of that doesn't happen in a way where you're interacting with someone, but it happens more in an emotional way. And it also depends on what Pluto is aspecting within your chart as well. But I don't want to get too far into it and make it very confusing. But yeah. And also too, like if, say Scorpio is like your MC or your North Node, you may find that Scorpio readings that you watch relate more so to like your career also. Like that would also be included. I'm getting the notion of making a decision to be happy or optimistic about something, and I'm seeing that's actually going to help you in a big way. I'm hearing doubt, fire. This looks like you can feel the type of way about a situation, or you can choose to be grateful and happy and optimistic and work with what you have. Because it seems even like it's something that you may not fully be tapping into that you have access to. But if you're focused on like negativity or the things that you don't like or the things that you don't want to be happening, there's a sense of like not realizing these other things that would feel good to be tapping into or exploring. This can also mean tapping into something creatively for you. And that could do something that becomes like more of a conduit for your creativity in general. So it's something that could like produce more creativity, but you would need to access this. With the sun represents Leo, it's the 5th house. I'm also hearing it's our personality, and it's like this part of you within your core, at your core, that wants to express itself. And something that, like, if you are focused on things that are like, well, I don't associate myself with that, or I don't identify with that, this is about, like, rather than focusing on that, it's like, well, what do you want to be a part of? What do you want to be focusing on? What do you want to participate in? How do you want to express yourself? So it's like focusing on these action-oriented things rather than avoidance and fear. And also tapping into your creativity in a way that makes sense to you. Because I'm getting even a feeling of like having something that you haven't been tapping into creatively, but it's going to help you process other stuff. And it looks like it's going to feel very empowering for you as well. So I'm seeing it like absolutely benefit you, Scorpio. I'm seeing the number 14. See, now the Page of Swords was popping out before also. For some of you dealing with Aquarius, Libra, could also be Leo. I'm also hearing that could be your energy with the sun. Yes. You can make the decision to even like humble yourself through a lesson that the universe has taught you. It seems like you may, so I don't know if this is, remember, energies can be reversed. We're going to stick with one narrative and you can switch it, flip it, whatever works for you. I'm seeing somebody here that needs to make the decision to like potentially even swallow their pride with something, because I'm seeing, it looks like there's some sort of lesson that the universe has come through to teach somebody, and they may still be going through the process of learning what this means in relation to their own healing and how they need to set boundaries to advocate for themselves and also like protect their energetic space. I feel like we've been doing a lot of shadow work, Scorpio. So this also looks like it's involving another person. So like you or the person that you're dealing with. I'm seeing somebody here that may feel some sort of like fixation on another person or other people. And this is something that could even be holding them back. It's like maybe you want to start some sort of project or work on something creatively. However, you keep comparing yourself to like yesterday, or you're comparing yourself to the people over here and the other people that like also paint in the same way that you do. And it's something that's holding you back from actually exploring something that you want to explore. For others of you too, I'm getting this notion of somebody, it's like Saturn is coming through to teach some sort of lesson where an outcome has taken place, and one can choose to use that to benefit them, because with a Saturn lesson, it's something very difficult that we move through. However, it's something that you like gain the skill of, or the understanding of, or like the epiphany or the enlightenment after you work hard and move through it. So it's not easy. It's kind of like going to school and you graduate. So it's this notion of like, you can either like put this lesson, you can either like embrace it or you can avoid it. And I'm seeing there be that moment of like, what are we going to do here with something that we have now come to understand is going on with us, and how does that translate now and affect the journey that we are making as far as like our healing journey, or pursuing what we want to pursue at our core, or like following the path that we believe we are meant to be following. And also standing up and defending that for yourself, because you may also be in a place where it's like, I feel like other people are watching me or other people have eyes on me, and I maybe feel insecure about doing something that I want to do, something unique that I want to explore. I'm seeing a lot about like expressing yourself in a way that feels true to you. And I'm seeing like maybe not everybody's going to agree with that, and that's okay. Maybe not everybody's going to understand it. Maybe something is even slightly controversial. You feel the need to like defend something or protect something, but I'm getting like this is about also learning how to protect your energy and continue on with the things that you want to continue on with. I'm seeing a lot of twos here, a lot of decisions that are going to be made. It looks like there's a decision that needs to be made about creating some type of plan or next step for yourself. It looks like there may be a lesson that you need to finish out or a cycle that you need to finish out, though. It's going to help you get into a more decisive energy. Like there may be information or some concept even that you understand by going through this that's going to make more sense to you after. So it's almost like you need to attend the class to get the information, take the test, and then it's going to help you with something that's coming afterwards. This is what I'm seeing here. I'm getting something about strawberries, like a strawberry milkshake. I'm seeing pink, very light pink. It even looks like a Frosty or something. I'm hearing, is that you? Yeah, there is, whether this be an aspect of yourself that talks you out of the things that you want to do, or this is somebody around you, that there is an absolute necessity to be setting boundaries with someone. This looks like an energy that you know you are going to need to confront, and you may be figuring out how to do that right now. It's related to like you even coming together with someone. This may be somebody that you know you are going to bump into, or somebody that wants to reunite with you, or this could even mean for some of you there can be some sort of reconciliation that you want to create with somebody. It's interesting because the cards were separated before, and now I'm feeling something coming together that was not attached before energetically. So I'm seeing like something kind of tightening up. It's almost like beads that were separated on a string that then move together. I think that you get to a spot where you realize that there is a way that you want to be showing up that feels like you. Making the decision to actually do that, because there's a notion here of understanding what's you in relation to like how you want to behave, how you want to act, how you want to hold yourself, especially within this particular instance, versus like what's not actually you, what may be coming from a place of fear or ego or shadow that is unnecessary for this situation. Because something makes perfect sense to you now about like how you want to act, how you want to go about doing something, how you even want to represent yourself. But it's all about making the decision to do that. So I'm not seeing it be like a decision where you're like, well, I don't know which one to do. It's like, you know exactly what to do here. It's just about actually executing. And there may be like somebody that becomes involved in this, and that's why the planning is necessary. But there's something that even needs to be accepted, whether this be an aspect of you or somebody that you've been dealing with. For some of you, this is about acknowledging the fact that you could have been with somebody and been in a place where, like, maybe for some of you, you had like a narcissistic parent or you were neglected or something like that, where it ended up affecting you in a way where you were closed off, or even a relationship that had you feeling very closed off within the heart space to other people, or that internal voice that talks you out of things, or like degrades you in some sort of way, or doesn't feel empowering to you. It's like something was going on that you had taken on, but I'm seeing it absolutely be part of the shadow. It's like it's not actually part of you, but it's maybe something that you had been identifying with, and I'm seeing like for some of you it very much affected your relationships. But until it's acknowledged, until it's accepted, it's something that you're not going to get off to the right foot that you want with somebody. And it looks like somebody is becoming involved in something that you're doing here. Like, I'm seeing the Page of Swords be at the center of this. And there may be something that you're learning about someone else or about you. For those of you that you're dealing with another person within this space, it's about, I'm seeing the world here even be a book that you were reading about certain types of personalities that you are dealing with to give you insight that you need as far as like what's going on within your interpersonal relationships, giving you insight both about yourself and also the people that you're interacting with. This is also about understanding, too, that not everybody is going to support you and the things that you want to do. And you may be learning how to set boundaries with these people, how to protect your energy with these people, how to advocate for yourself, and do it in a way that you feel is balanced, not in a way where you feel like is overkill or you're reacting from a volatile place emotionally. This is about you setting boundaries and advocating for yourself in a grounded, centered, balanced way, one where you feel good about. Because for some of you, there's somebody may want to get involved with you, Scorpio, and you are recognizing that you would rather have boundaries with this person because it's not somebody that you feel like is affecting you in an empowering way. Whoever this energy is that you're dealing with. So whether this be like an aspect of yourself or it's somebody within your life, I'm seeing you get to a point where you're like, I'm seeing this for what it is. Working through the emotional process of that, of like maybe this person disappointed you, or you wished it was another way, or you wish you didn't have to deal with this, whatever it is for you. There's a sense of working through this by learning about it, by understanding it, by being able to wrap your head around it, and then being able to like tuck it neatly back in the drawer and leave the room, because it's not something you need to continue messing with. And I'm seeing you get to a place where for some of you, somebody wants to reconcile with you, however you still feel like they're maintaining a particular frequency that you don't want to get involved with, and so you're actually going to deny or dismiss an opportunity to get connected with somebody. And that's what's justice for this situation, karmic justice for something that was happening. And this isn't about being vengeful or spiteful. This is about you protecting your energy, protecting your space, protecting your dreams, and you're not putting yourself in a position where you would be giving away your power to somebody. Because I'm seeing something very important that you're building. I'm seeing goals that you are creating and meeting for yourself. I'm seeing a whole lot of stability that you are working on and acquiring within your life. And this is coming about because of how protective you are of these things that you're building towards and what you're achieving. And like keeping your focus on the things that you want to be focusing on. And this person may come through in a way that's going to disrupt you, and that's also why it's necessary for you to protect your energy. That doesn't mean that you don't have feelings for this person or that you don't love them, but you also know that they're going to, like, having them back in your life is going to cause some sort of, I'm getting the word disarray specifically, within your life, and it's going to impede upon your path and become some sort of barrier for you. So as I said before, this is not about you doing something out of spite or revenge or anything like that. This is about you looking at things objectively and in a fair way and being like, you know what, I'm standing up for myself. I don't deserve to be treated like that. That's not an environment that I want to put myself in, or that's not a dynamic that I want to be playing out. Like, I'm done playing that role. And so, like, this isn't for me anymore. And you walk away from something. You don't invite it back into your life. Because for some of you, somebody is trying to come back into your life, but it's somebody that you would know who or what this is, because when it comes into your life, you feel a sense of like grayness, or like your vibration gets lower. It's like you're not as focused on your goals anymore. You feel somewhat distracted. It's something that like really brings your energy to focus in on this thing rather than on yourself. You feel a little bit chaotic, moody, shifty, things like that going on, like mentally, emotionally. And this may be somebody that, if they were showing up in a different light, you would welcome them into your life. But as long as they're going to remain within this energy and act in this way, in a way that does not empower you, in a way that does not encourage growth, in a way that may reinforce you getting into dynamics that you don't like, it's not something that you can invite back into your life without consequences that are going to negatively impact you and what you're working on and stall things out. Because I'm getting, more than anything, it's like when you have this person in your life, things go into a level of like kind of being frozen. So it's like the things that you've been working on and all of that, you're not tending to them as much. So everything kind of slows down. I'm looking at Sun Libra, Saturn Aquarius. For the person wondering, yes, I do have a lot of Pluto in my chart. I think I said this in the last reading too. My North Node is in Scorpio, and I also have Pluto conjunct my ascendant as well. Pluto is also conjunct my North Node at 0 degrees. It's an exact conjunction. And as we're talking about Pluto, Pluto pops out. That's funny. Okay, so this makes sense here. This is about making a judgment call in relation to whom you're inviting into your life here. Do you feel like people or a person are treating you in the way that you want to be treated? Do you feel like your boundaries are respected? Do you feel like you're encouraged to have boundaries, encouraged to feel comfortable? Do you feel like there's a sense of earnesty, honesty, intimacy within your relationships? Do you feel like you're heard? Do you feel like you're seen? Do you feel like you're reciprocating those things? Are your morals and values respected? Do you feel respected as a person? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel supported? These are all the questions that allow us to understand the nature of the relationships that we're in and why we walk away from them or participate in them feeling the ways that we do, how they affect us energetically. And also understanding self-sabotaging, both within ourselves and within other people. There's something going on with career or finances, or an earth sign within your life. Career, job, finances. I'm seeing something going on where you may find yourself in a situation where if everything was good, things would feel very clear to you. However, somebody is encouraging you to be in a space where things are confusing, and this may be something that you weren't picking up on immediately, because like when we're confused, it's like supposed to be confusing on purpose, right? If somebody's doing that, so it may be something that like you weren't completely seeing something because the purpose is deliberate and somebody being like covert or secretive in some sort of way. Let's get further though, because I want to see. It seems like somebody's keeping you in a foggy place emotionally. By not being straight up with you about something. Oh. Okay. That makes sense. Whatever this situation is with you, so it's like, right, this can be so many things. This can be a parent. This can be a masculine figure within your life. This can be somebody that pays you. It can be a boss. It can be a company. It can be somebody tied in with your finances, somebody tied in with like your household, your responsibilities. Something may have happened that you feel emotionally confused or conflicted about, or something unclear was going on, and somebody is deliberately like bringing some sort of confusion to you. And this may be something that you're like, you know what, I don't need to stick around. This person that you're dealing with, they're not going to be honest with you. They're not going to clear things up for you. I'm hearing the word disarray again. This is somebody that is deliberately, they're like hiding something, lying to you, keeping you in a place where you don't know what's what. I'm hearing so you can't tell the truth. Maybe a situation happened with you and this person, and this also feels a bit like a gaslighting energy. It's like something is going down that in your heart you don't feel right about it, or like within your emotional body you don't feel right about something, but you may not have proof, and this person would pretty much do anything in their power to keep it that way. So I'm seeing you, it's like you can either sit, I'm hearing sit in this puddle of mud. It's like you can either sit in the fog with this person and they're never going to turn the fog machine off, or you can be like, you know what, I don't like this and I'm not sticking around for this, and actually walk away from it. But you may be losing something. But like, is it worth it to you to compromise? Is really the question, because it's like for some of you, you may be losing a job over this. You may be losing something financially over this. So it's like, what's more important to you? You staying true to like your emotional truth and empowering yourself, or staying in a situation where like you're compromising yourself in a way that does not feel settled to you, because there's definitely some type of issue going on here. This looks like a very karmic situation. I'm seeing 2 7s here with this person. The thing is, like, also how you'll know what this person is, who this person is, they are in some type of authority role where you are meant to actually trust them. So, like, if you took them at face value for the role that they're playing, this is something, for some of you, this is a father figure, actually. I'm seeing somebody that you should have been able to rely on, or you would expect this person to be honest with you or to have a sense of integrity. And I'm seeing somebody that is like very much in their shadow right now. I'm seeing you too going back and forth. Like for some of you, this really has to do with finances, and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it on my own if I walk away from this person or if I leave this situation. For some of you, it's if you cut ties. I'm hearing this. For some of you, this person is a Pisces, I'm also getting. We're also looking at Pluto here. I'm seeing this be one of these. We're looking at Neptune also. This can also be like a masculine figure, a husband, something like that. It doesn't have to be a male. When I say masculine figure, it can be any gender, if one identifies with a gender in particular. It can also be someone like outside of the binary as well. But like when we're speaking on masculine energy in relation to you in this situation, this would be somebody that's like giving you something. And all of us have masculine and feminine too. I'm seeing the catch here be like, on a soul level, you feel understood by this person. You feel connected. There's some type of union that you have with this person. However, this is also disrupted. For the third time, I'm hearing the word disarray. The only reason you feel conflicted is because you intuitively know the truth. However, you don't want to. And that's what's causing the confusion here. It's like, oh, but we're so close, or we've lived together for this long, or we're committed, or like I thought I was going to marry them. Whatever it is for you. It's like, because of being close with this person, you may not want to see something that's blatant here. But you already don't trust something that's going on here. I'm getting this. Like there's something very, very obvious that is not sitting well with you. And I'm seeing this even impact your like emotional, mental health. So you're being guided to see it. You could even be like getting in arguments with this person, or this is just a sense of inner conflict. You're being guided to understand this inner conflict in a way that allows you to understand what's going on here, to understand the purpose of that. Like, what is that message that you're meant to understand by this experience that you're having? Because you're feeling conflicted for a reason. Something's not sitting well with you for a reason. And you could be in a place where there's something emotionally that you're not ready to come to terms with, but it's something you need to sit and think about. Otherwise, it's not going to be resolved, because I'm seeing like something even stick with you. There's a lot of jumbled confusion and chaos energetically when it comes to this. As I said before, like, this is somebody that it's not like they're coming up to you and telling you that they're lying to you. This is somebody going out of their way to make it seem like they're not. However, like, you know, Scorpio, you're aware. And I'm seeing you be like, I don't want to be part of this anymore because of the chaos that this is inducing emotionally. You could even be having like fits of rage or like outbursts in some way, or like oscillating emotions. It's like you may even feel a little bit like you're like self-destructing at times, just because this is not an environment that's healthy for you to be in. And it's because something is going on, and like even though you may not have like physical proof of something, you have intuitive, you have emotional proof, and you know too how this is affecting you in the heart space, how it's affecting your body, your mental health. So these are signs to pay attention to that are going to tell you. For some of you too, this can even be a moment that you're having with somebody where like maybe in the beginning you kind of liked the conflict or the tension that you had with them, and now this is something that you are suffering through with this person. So it's like it's not fun anymore. For some of you even feel it's dangerous is what I'm hearing. You're being guided to call judgment and follow your intuition and look at this from a place. Like, I'm seeing it's like, no matter who this person is to you, with the judgment card, it means like taking a very deep, hard look at this. To look at it objectively and see what's going on there and listen to what your intuition is telling you about something. It's like something is not lining up. Something doesn't make sense. These are red flags that you are noticing, and now it's time to like collect everything and put it all together to make sense. Because at the end of the day, this is about showing up for yourself. And there's something going on where you really don't feel like you're being treated in a way that you want to be treated. Something is not meeting your standards. For some of you, this is even a job. That, like, you may be making the type of money you want to make, but you feel like you're being taken advantage of. Absolutely. And there's definitely, like, a side of, like, your emotional health being affected, too. I'm hearing the word staycation. Yeah, it's one of those moments where it's like you're not being treated right, and there's a notion of like feeling hurt by this, but for some of you, you may not have completely processed this yet, because this may be something uncomfortable to confront or admit to or recognize. And remember too, like this can always be our own behavior as well. It can be doing something that you feel is coming from a shadow place and you actually feel conflicted about it because you know that it's not like right to be doing something, and it actually very much disagrees with you, like morally, spiritually, emotionally. Yeah, I'm seeing something weighing heavily on you. I'm hearing the word crisp. If this is ignored, it looks like it's going to get to a point where it's going to overburden you so much that there may be some sort of like collapse or breaking point even. So that's why the encouragement for this to be addressed is happening. Because there's something that if it's swept under the rug, I'm looking at the Ten of Wands, there's going to be some sort of release. But like how that goes down is going to depend, because this is something that like you can assuage what this is going on and like kind of let the pressure out by going in and dealing with this and kind of ease the transition, or this is something that you can kind of wait until it like blows up in your face or explodes in some sort of way. And it will probably be more difficult to like find your balance afterwards. Not that it's impossible at all, absolutely possible, but it may be more difficult than if you tend to this now. So it's like if you wait until the last minute, it may be something that it takes a lot longer to repair for you or to stabilize afterwards, rather than just addressing it now. For some of you, whatever this situation is, you know, you don't want to be a part of it anymore, and it's bringing like chaos and unrest into your life, and even though you don't know where you're going, you know that you're going. Because there's something here about like changing to a location, whether this be like a metaphor or something physically that you're doing, or you like moving away from something and like going into some unknown territory, but you trust in your guidance and that you're being called away from a situation that is very unhealthy for you to be a part of. Something very unsettling more than anything. There's absolutely unrest in relation to this thing that's going on here. There's definitely, too, a lot of unconscious energy as well with Neptune and also Pisces here. Both of them. So this is something that may be like more hidden from you also, because Neptune is representative of the 12th house. So this can be something that's like even on a conscious level is more difficult to grasp. So you're just going to have to trust yourself and your intuition. It looks too like you may be reaching out to somebody and telling them how you feel. I'm seeing this be like after the fact. It's like after you've moved away from something, there's something about like having a dialogue about feelings and about like you feeling stressed out also. But it's interesting because I'm seeing this be like even after you walk away from a situation. Okay, Scorpio, we are going to leave the reading here. I'm looking at Pluto, Neptune, and Pisces here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm wishing everyone love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.